Darius Butler, everything DB. New week, new coverage. Let's get right to it. Cover two. Just like you hear the name, there are two defenders responsible for the deep parts of the field, deep halves, right? In this situation, those are two safeties. You got two safeties responsible for the deep halves. Then you got two corners responsible for the flats. Just inside of those corners, you have a hook curl defender and a hook curl defender. Now, hook curl defenders are pretty important to a cover two defense. I don't think they're coached up enough on the specifics because they're attacked a lot with like if the quarterback throws a dig route in the cover two, that hook curl defender is responsible for those routes. They throw a check down, and hook curl defender is also responsible to be that guy coming inside out. One key for the hook curl defenders is to try to stay in between the number 2 and the number 3 receivers. Another tip I would write down is get to your depth and settle. Don't be a guy who's fading and doesn't really ever get to his landmark. Those guys get taken advantage of a lot. Okay, so you got those 4 guys, and then the 5th guy, probably the most important guy, and they cover two defense. They differentiate if it's a traditional cover two where he's just a middle hook player, or if it's a Tampa two that you got famous from Tony Dungy. You got Rob Marinelli, Mel Tucker, a lot of guys who used to run this defense. You don't see it as much now. You see it sprinkled in here or there, but it's still a good tool to have in your toolbox as a defense. But this guy, back to this guy, he's a middle read defender, a run-through defender. He's responsible actually for the deep middle portion of the field. And on this play, the Philadelphia Eagles put Malcolm Jenkins in this position, and he had a chance to read the quarterback and make a huge play late in the down off Eli Manning. It's very advantageous for a defense when they can put an athletic, versatile guy like a Malcolm Jenkins there in this position, because usually that's a middle linebacker. And no knock against those guys, but, they ain't us. But everything DB covered 2 all week.